Mr. Hurley, that includes you. Good evening and welcome to the June 25th, 2018 RTM regular meeting. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Kate Ambrose. Mr. Ambrose, do you have an announcement to make in your district? Thank you, Mr. Ambrose. Nancy Lefkowitz. Here. Keith Varian. Here. Bill Gerber. Here. Aaron Lopez. Here. Eric Newman. Cindy Perham. Here. Heather Dean. Present. Alex Durrell. Here. Matt Jacobs. Here. Sharon Pastilli. Here. Alice Kelly. Here. Frank O'Reilly. Here. Phil Pierce. Marcy Spollier. Here. Josh Garskoff. Here. Joe Siebert. Here. Ruth Smay. Here. Jay Wolk. Here. Matt Ambrose. Steve Barretts. Here. Hannah Gale. Here. Lisa Havey. Present. Lauren Bove. Present. Mark McDermott. Here. Jill Vergara. Here. Karen Wackerman. Here. Carrie Burcham. Here. Pamela Iacono. Here. Christine Messina. Here. Pete Talman. Here. Brian Farnan. Drew Georgiadis. Here. Doreen Herron. Margaret Horton. Here. Sam Cargill. Here. Michael Hurley. Present. Frank Batiste. Eric Sunman.
Can we all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start with item number 2 now, to consider and act upon the minutes of the annual budget meeting held on May 1st, 2000, whoops. Wrong notes. No, it's not. Yep, sorry, 2018, and the regular meeting held on May 29th, 2018. Do I have a motion to approve? Heather Dean, seconded by Wackerman, Karen Wackerman. All in favor? Any opposed? Abstentions? Item carries. Okay, next up, we have a consent calendar. For the following items are eligible for a consent calendar under Rule 32 of the RTM rules to regulate, having received unanimous approval of each committee. Items 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Do I have a motion to approve these items on the consent calendar? Mr. Hurley and Ms. Kelly. All in favor? All opposed? Abstentions? Seeing none, that motion carries. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, item number 8, to hear and consider and act upon the following appointments to the Mill Hill Elementary School Building Committee as recommended by the Board of Selectmen. Harry R. Ackley, Sr., Republican, 25 Wagon Hill Road. Jeremy J. Budzian, Republican, 45 Geneva Terrace. Hector M. Guillen, unaffiliated, 1043 Mill Hill Terrace. Jason Lee, Republican, 245 Sunny Ridge Avenue, Unit 35. Heather M. Nukta, Democrat, 211 Warner Hill Road. Thomas F. Quinn, Democrat, 88 Miro Street. Norman A. Roberts, unaffiliated, 1210 South Pine Creek Road. Melanie McDonald Ruggieri, Republican, 238 Warner Hill Road. And Andrew R. Sheriff, Jr., unaffiliated, 1 River Lane. Do I have a motion to approve? Representative Gale and Representative Burcham. Okay. All in favor? All opposed? Abstentions? Seeing none, that item carries. Sorry, I should have. Okay. We're 9, 10, Next up is item number 9, to consider and act upon the following resolution as recommended by the Board of Selectmen. 10. I said 10, didn't I? Sorry. I thought I said 10. I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing things in my own head. Item number 10. Consider and act upon the following resolution as recommended by the Board of Selectmen. Resolved that the program year 44, October 1, 2018 through September 30th, 2019, Community Development Block Grant is hereby approved in the amount of $538,200, which includes entitlement grant funds of $508,143 and program income of $30,057, and further resolved that Michael C. Tetro, First Selectman of the Town of Fairfield, be and hereby is authorized to execute any and all necessary documents that facilitate the town's participation in the CDBG program. Do I have a motion to approve this item? Representative Garskov, and seconded by Representative Siebert. Are there any comments? Representative Iacona.
Thank you, Representative Iacona, District 8. We lost our stand. Can we get that back?
You want me to do that?
Yeah. I want you to speak to the
You
real moderator.
you need to
not
speak
getting
to somebody who's really in charge, because I'm just playing this guy tonight.
I like our stand. Regarding the CDBG, I abstained in committee and I raised the issue. This is a great grant. I think that everybody on the list is worthy of receiving the funds. There are two things. First of all, regarding the $75,000 that's going towards paving, this was a huge discussion at budget this year. I just think if this is a consistent thing, which it has been pretty much for some time going back a ways, when this is discussed during the budget process, all the town bodies should be aware that there's funds, $75,000 in this case, that's going towards some streets in Fairfield. I know a committee like the Board of Finance would want to know that as they're weighing their deliberations and we're going back and forth on how much money we're putting into paving and siving. The other thing is, this is for economic development. And really with the micro assistance grants, there's only $5,000 allocated to that. I personally would have liked to have seen more money going into that. I recently was at a fundraiser where I heard two women who were entrepreneurs looking to start small businesses here in Fairfield, and they were asking the person who was running for office, what can you do for people like us we're women and we want to start a business? And there's just not enough of that out there. Here we have that. We're not promoting it, in my opinion, in expansive ways. We're promoting it limitedly. In my opinion, it's buried in the economic development newsletter. It needs to be out there as its own standalone thing. And more money, in my opinion, from this grant needs to be allocated to it in the future if we're really going to help residents of Fairfield grow and prosper, and if we really are all about economic development and getting people to come to Fairfield. I do support this, but I did want to get that on the record as we get this CDBG grant every year. And it ultimately is up to us, and for the future, I'm going to be looking for those types of things. And then the last thing, I was very disappointed not to see any effort made from the Library Board of Trustees to request money for the Woods elevator. That again came up at the budget season, that grant money is out there to help offset the cost of the elevator, and nobody put forth, CDBG was specifically mentioned, and nobody put forth an application. I find that disappointing. But I do support this, and I do think we should keep those things in mind as we move forward with this grant.
Thank you. Any other comments from the body? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, we'll take it back to vote by the body. Do I have a motion to approve? Mr. Durrell, seconded by Mr. Sunman. All in favor? All opposed? Abstentions? Seeing none, that motion carries. Yeah, let's get it right. It's number 11, right? Thank you. To consider and act upon the following resolution as recommended by the Board of Finance, resolved that the first selectman is hereby authorized on behalf of the town of Fairfield to receive and expend up to $42,000 to fund the restoration of Ye Old Yacht Yard Shop Building, the Burr Shed, 100% of said project costs to be funded by 2 donations from the Southport Conservancy, and the first covering $37,872 of known project costs, and second reimbursing any expenditure beyond known project costs up to $4,128. Any discussion from the body? Sorry, my motion to approve. Representative Vergara, seconded by Representative Iacona. Any further discussion? Thanks, ma'am. Not as seasoned as you. Hey. It's not, trust me. Everybody is looking like it's easy, right? Any further discussion from the body? Any discussion from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor? Oh, sorry, Mr. Sunman? Okay, Mr. Sunman's recusing himself from the vote. So all those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, we're at item number 12 now. To consider and act upon the following resolution recommended by the first selectman, resolved that a certain contract negotiated by and between the town of Fairfield and the United Public Service Employees Union, Unit number 454, concerning conditions of employment for the period commencing July 1st, 2014 and ending June 30th, 2020, be and hereby is ratified. Do I have a motion? Representative Bldg, seconded by Representative Gerber. Is there any comments from the body? Seeing none, any comments from the public? Seeing none, we'll take the vote. Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That passes unanimously. Okay, moving right along to number 13. To hear and consider and act upon an ordinance concerning the safe discharge of firearms within the town of Fairfield, sponsored by Nancy Lefkowitz, District 1, Phil Peers, District 4, Ruth Smay, District 5, Jill Vergara, District 7, and Karen Wackerman, District 7. Okay. I have a motion. Representative Burcham, seconded by Representative Siebert. We have any comments from the body? Representative Lefkowitz and Representative Varian, please come up.
Nancy Lefkowitz, District 1. After months of research and careful review of state regulations, court decisions, local ordinances, and town codes, and with bipartisan support from this body, as well as gun owners and our first selectman, the RTM members sponsoring this ordinance determine language and parameters that are relevant to Fairfield residents and in the best interest of our public health and safety. Our town attorney has reviewed and considered this ordinance and supports it. There are a slight language change, and I am pleased to be standing here with my co-representative from District 1, Keith Varian, who's going to recommend the suggested language, the amendment language. But first, I just wanted to tell this body how grateful I am to our Chief of Police, Gary McNamara, for working closely with me on this ordinance. The ongoing safety of this community is of tantamount importance to our chief, and his tenacity, perseverance, and commitment to our well-being is evident and appreciated. I also wanted to thank Westport's Chief of Police, who's also a Fairfield resident, Fody Kaskinas, for his support of this ordinance. The collaboration between our communities and the strength of the relationship between these two chiefs of police is a great asset to the overall well-being of our constituents.
Thank you, Nancy. Keith Varian, District 1. I agree. I support this ordinance. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think there's generally pretty widespread support within the town and our caucus. One thing I did want to propose, I want to make a motion to amend the ordinance just to clarify that there are no changes to the hunting laws, that the existing hunting laws remain as they are. So, Betsy, do you want me to read it in, or do you have it, so you're good? Good. Thank you.
And to echo that this amendment is supported by those who've sponsored the ordinance and has wide support from the Democratic caucus, and again, to reiterate, the town attorney and the first selectman, and so.
Certainly. Mr. Varian, could you please read it for
It was
Mr.
in the
Hurley?
packet, Mr. Hurley.
I'm sure he overlooked it on the train ride home when he fell asleep, but don't worry about it.
Sure. So I'm amending Section 3A5 to delete what was proposed initially and to be replaced by any person hunting who is legally authorized to hunt under the provisions of the Connecticut General Statutes or by local ordinance and any regulations issued thereunder in such places in such manner as is authorized under such statutes, ordinances, and regulations.
Thank you. Any comments from the body on the amendment proposed by Mr. Varian? Seeing none, any comments from the, sorry. No. Yeah. Okay. I got that one right, Bets. Let's go. Any comments from the public on the amendment? Just to point out, we're not voting on the proposal here. We're voting on the amendment. So you can wait until after we vote on the amendment, and then we go back to the original item number 13. Would you like to speak now, sir, or you want to wait? Could you step up to the mic and your name and... No, not according to film. Oh, sorry. So we need a motion for the amendment. Mr. Varian and Ruth May, seconded.
My name is Paul Dowd. I live on Reading Road. I have 7 acres. I'm 71 years old. I like to target practice from time to time. If you're going to take this ordinance and make it into a gun control issue, which I feel you're doing, then provide me with a place to shoot. All right? Let me shoot at the town police range or provide another place to shoot. You know, you're taking a right away from me. I pay taxes in Fairfield. Work with me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments from the public? Seeing none, we'll go back to the body. Those in favor of the amendment, say aye. Those not in favor, say nay. Nope. Abstentions, none. Amendment carries. So now we'll go back to item 13. To hear and consider and act upon an ordinance concerning the safe discharge of firearms within the town of Fairfield as amended. Sponsored by Nancy Lefkowitz, District 1, Phil Pierce, District 4, Bruce May, District 5, Jill Vergara, District 7, and Karen Wackerman, District 7. Do I have a motion to approve? Jay Wolk and Heather Dean, second. Can't see you all the way back there, Nancy. It's hard to get past the first row. Okay. Any further comments from the body on this? Seeing none, any comments from the public? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Finally, Kerry, we got a, I know you're eager to get out of here, so. Number 14, to consider and act upon any other matters presented to said meeting and which may be properly acted upon under the rules of representative town meeting. Seeing none, a motion to adjourn. Let's see, who should I pick? Mr. Tallman, seconded by Representative Lefkowitz. Meeting is adjourned.